get involved quite a bit. And, first 2 games, frankly, him and Garrett have been able to be pretty involved in the passing game. What have you seen from those guys that's kind of enabled them to be able to do that?
Yeah, they're big targets, and they've been really consistent. I think our quarterbacks really trust him, as far as just whether he's the primary target or whether it's a check down or under option. They're guys that we can count on, and they can use their body to create some space, and they've just been good targets for us, and we want to continue to utilize them.
I know you guys want to get better in the red zone, but so far how those guys have gotten involved is not on short passes. Those guys have been, you kind of mentioned it, down the seam a little bit, kind of hitting them for big gains. How has that stood out to you, being able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, again, big bodies down the middle, if we're getting certain zone coverages, I mean, you got space. And it's nice for a quarterback to be able to use those guys, and the one that sticks out is John down the seam, and he goes up and goes up high and gets it, and it's just comforting for a quarterback to know he can kind of put it in a wide range, and give him a chance. But yeah, those big bodies down the middle are always good.
You've been here a couple of years, but are you aware of how enamored the fans are by the tight ends? I mean, we get that question more than anything: is why aren't the tight ends more involved? I don't know why or how far back that goes, but it is just a weird thing here where people care a lot about why aren't they getting more action and stuff.
Well, I think it's a thing of a lot of schools and a lot of offenses don't utilize or don't even carry tight ends, and we do, and we've always utilized them here at Boise State, and they've always been a big part of the offense. And so just that history and that tradition of the tight end position here is really good. And so finding different ways to get them the ball, whether it's, even Garrett got the one, quick reverse, down there too. Finding different ways to utilize those guys is good.
The red zone, Dave asked you, with the kneel down, and some of it, the stats are a little misleading, but
Sure.
To only have 4 touchdowns and 12, whatever it is, in 12 red zone chances, what are you seeing there with the field being shorter, and why you guys aren't getting as many touchdowns?
Yeah, some execution issues, obviously. We had the one pick down there that should have gone the other way, in my mind, and then obviously the kneel down at the end of the game, and then we had the one snap that went back 10 yards, and then we take a sack on the next play. So it really comes down to execution, and our guys believing and trusting in what we're doing, and then going out there and doing it. And we got to do a good job of our mindset. Once we get down there, it's got to be, hey, we're scoring, and finding the end zone in different ways, whether it's the run game or the pass game, it really doesn't matter. But the standard is high here, and we got to get in the end zone.
What have you seen from the O-line? They had to do a little bit of shuffling so far, and with John going out and then Molchon just bumping out. How do you think those guys have handled it, and what have you seen from those guys up front?
They're communicating, and that's always the mindset of any of our guys on our team. It's, hey, next guy up, and hey, if I got to move a position, no big deal. I'm going to take him, I'm going to learn, I'm going to prepare, and go. And that's what I love about our guys. It's not why do I got to do this? It's okay, there we go, let's go. And our O-line has the ability, and those guys have the different skills to be able to go to a guard or a center or slide out to a tackle, and those guys attack it. And that's an awesome mindset.
Harsin mentioned something in passing in the press conference on Monday that I found particularly interesting. He said that Collingham helped you guys, or helped your quarterback, decide on a couple of plays or passing plays during the Marshall game. Can you kind of tell me about how that came about, and how long has he been kind of contributing to that? Or maybe you don't.
I think all the guys want to have some contribution to the pass game, and have ideas, and we see things in game that maybe a guy has an idea, or hey, if we do this, it could be beneficial for the looks that we're getting. So we want that communication with our players, and then if we feel like as coaches it fits what we're doing, then we can make those adjustments in game.
I asked you last week about Hank not taking too many hits, and he had his helmet ripped off again. I know it was a penalty, but just how obviously you want him to stand there as long as possible and try to let things develop. But how do you coach that, or can you coach that where he has to be smart too, where you just don't want him to take some of those hits over the long course of the season?
We obviously don't want him to take hits, but at times it's going to happen. And then teaching that, you really can't teach him. He's got that ability to get back up, pick his helmet up or ear pads or whatever else fell out, and and put him back in and let's go. And he's not the kid to stay down on the ground. I mean, if he gets knocked down, he's right back in. Let's huddle, let's go. And he's got that competitive mentality. But yeah, we're do as much as we can to keep him upright, and obviously get in the end zone.
Have you seen more of some of the hits he's taken be from him waiting too long, or from the O-line messing up, or is it a combination?
It's a combination of things, and it depends on the play. In certain plays, we have some protection issues, as everybody does at times, and or missing a one-on-one, or whether he's hanging on to it too long. There's multiple reasons, but we got to do a good job getting it out of his hand, protecting him up front, and ideally keeping them off the ground.
It was no secret that Khalil Shakir was going to be a good player for you guys. Anybody that obviously had seen him before, so far through 2 games, obviously he's delivered. What have you noticed from him, kind of obviously taking that step up into a guy that's kind of a featured receiver?
Yeah, he's very versatile and he's smart. He's a competitor. Every day he comes out to practice, he's on top of his game. He's working to get better at what he's doing. He can play a lot of different positions. We can move him around a ton. We just feel like he can grasp all of it, and we know he's a playmaker, and we find ways to get him the ball.